I hope you've gotten to do the things that you have been wanting to do. I hope you have cleaned up. I hope y'all have cleaned up your space and have been good stewardess over what the Spirit has given you thus far. And if by chance you have done no cleaning, it is my collective prayer that you do so today. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Darcell Andre, holistic and esoteric teacher. And we have the weekly reading today, where this is a reading for the collective, for those listening, for you to get the information necessary, for you to align yourself, realign yourself, do whatever is required for you to get your together. I repeat, get your together. I want you to know that we have a class that is available for you to sign up for cleansing work, cutting cords, cutting and clearing and cleansing work, where we're going to learn how to make the Florida water. We're going to learn how to make all of the things. If you prefer to watch me on the largest screen in your home, come over to the YT, all right, and click on via YT, all right? So without further ado, also there's an ancestor oil that is available. Go to the link in my bio, go to the spiritual products and get you the ancestor oil, okay? Ancestor oil is powerful for you doing your altar work, mediumship work, connecting with spirits, so forth and so on. All right. I think we are ready. I think we are ready to tap into the spirit to bring forth the information that we need to get, understand, and receive. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Cleanse my hands. Thank you, Mega Million. Thank you. Cleanse my hands and say my prayer. And we will tap in. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you. Calling forth the ancestors, calling forth the spirit teams, the energies, all the energies that are working for our collective good. Let there be a hedge of protection placed around me as I tap in and bring forth the information, as well as to the watchers and viewers of this reading. Let the information come through and be in a way that they can understand and receive. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. Ooh. Hold up. Okay, let's get started here. All right, so Dual Goddess says, "Hey, love, I'm here on YT and TikTok. Okay, technology play too much to take chances. That's what I'm talking about." Let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing that the spirit wants to do is they showed me a mountain. All right, they showed me a mountain, and this is, of course, telling us to pay attention to earth placements first, right? So wherever you have an earth placement in your chart, I want you to dive into that earth placement is Taurus. Of course, y'all would tell me earth placements because of all the stuff going on with Taurus. All right. Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Please dive into your natal chart and look at those placements. Read all about it, because the Spirit is wanting you to focus on the earth placements in your chart this upcoming week. One thing about the earth is that the earth is foundational. The earth is stability, okay? The earth is ground. The earth is where things grow from, things sprout from. All sprout from the earth. Hold on, let me grab I didn't plug up my laptop. Hold up. Okay. Here we go. So everything sprouts from forth the earth, okay? And so the reason why they kept showing me this mountain, they were showing me the terrain of the mountain, the hard, the rocky, the sharp spots, and things of that nature. We are going to be challenged with obstacles, okay? Obstacles. Obstacles that appear in the way of our thinking, obstacles that appear in the way of our communication with ourselves and with others. Obstacles, all right? Now, one thing about mountains are old. Ain't no new mountains, okay? So, this is the new mountain that was forged 5 years ago. No, mountains are old, okay? And so you can expect the origins of these blockages to point you back to an origin story of yours. All right? Meaning the inner child, meaning younger in your teenage years, meaning your young adult years. These are things from the past that's going to come up and show up here as an obstacle for you. Okay? So you can decide whether or not you're going to succumb to that obstacle, or are you going to understand that the mountains are meant to be climbed and there is something on the other side of that obstacle? It's meant to be overcome. Now, to those of you who get upset and say, why is it that I have to deal with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z? Why do I have to deal with it? Well, you wouldn't know that you could climb mountains if you didn't climb it. You wouldn't know that you had a remarkable ability to overcome had you not had anything to overcome. Mountains, okay? And the beauty of the mountain is that you don't drop off into a black, dark abyss on the other side. There is always an other side to the obstacle. A lot of cultures and indigenous people, they place their villages and their tribes on the other side of mountains, okay? Because mountains act as a protective barrier as well. So that is to say that on the other side of the mountain, it is guarding you and hiding things that are of value for you. But you will never, ever get a chance to experience it if you are so terrified of getting to the other side of the mountain. All right? You can't be terrified of the obstacle. When the obstacle presents itself, understand that it is because you have the ability to climb it. And all the while, you were witnessing people climbing the mountain. All right? So you know that it can be done. You simply have to start to do it. That's it. So let's be advised for the obstacles that are going to present themselves this week. However, I can feel irritants hopping up in my body because there's a select number of you that are like, oh my gosh, what do I got to be worried about? If you hop to worry, you interrupt the whole spiritual understanding that's happening here. If I am telling you about it, that is because you don't have to worry about it. You just have to know that when it comes up, that's what I was talking about. So you don't have to worry, oh God, let me pre-plan, let me prepare, please. Because when I tell you the amount of irritation that hopped in my body, because this is the space y'all get to. This is the space y'all get to. And it pulls you into a negative mood. Don't do that. Okay? That's not the purpose. The spirit works preventatively. Okay? So that you don't face the obstacle and then throw in the towel like, oh my gosh, it's always something. It's always something. I can't never have no. Don't go into that space, okay? The mountain does. Thank you. Kendra says, not Capricorn being a mountain goat. I'm screaming. I am screaming because the spirit be spiriting. Let me tell you this as well. The mountain also comes to teach us, and you are right on it. Is it JOUJADO5? You are right on it when you said optimism. The mountain reminds us of the importance of our perspectives. So one of the biggest ways to overcome the mountain is to realize the power of perspective. Okay? Being on top of the mountain is one perspective. Being at the bottom of the mountain is another perspective. And you cannot appreciate the height and the glory of the mountaintop if you were not able or are not able to witness the bottom of the mountain. My meditation with Obatala taught me this. Obatala had me visualizing me climbing this mountain for days until I was able to master that visualization. When I got up to the top of the mountain, Obatala told me to sit as they were sitting. And I was like, about to let the legs cross. I was trying to visualize myself with my legs crossing. And I was like, dear God. I was like, my focus is all over the place. Let's start there. My focus is all over the place. And so when I was finally able to do that, I finally was able to cross my legs and sit as Obatala was sitting. And then Obatala pushed me off the mountain. I was horrified. I said, what? And so it's wild because I was deep in the meditation. So when I was pushed, I jerked my body because it was like I was actually falling. And I kept falling. I kept falling. I kept falling. I kept falling. I never hit the bottom. I need y'all to peep that. I kept falling and freaking out, but I never hit the bottom. And in the midst of falling, I was like, what is this about? Why am I scared? Why am I freaking out? And Obatala said to me, stop being afraid of the fall. Stop being afraid of falling. You are never going to fall to your death. So stop being afraid, y'all, of the rhythm of the universe, the ups and the downs. When I asked, okay, so what is the point of falling? The point of falling is to learn perspectives. If you are always on top of the mountain your whole life, you will never be able to understand how high up you are. And so the value that I would have for the mountain is increased. The value that I have for when everything is going well in my life, oh, I'm in gratitude. I'm in gratitude because I understand how important this piece is. I understand the power in this position. I also understand how much it took me to get to this point. I understand the power of my placement, of my position. And when I'm on the ground, I understand the power of that, because the power and the position of me not being at the top of my goals is that I could see it. I could see all that it takes for me to get there and how glorious that is going to be when I get there. And so I give gratitude when I'm at the mountaintop. I give gratitude when I'm at the valley low, because I understand that it is a power in perspective. So when the obstacles present themselves to you, your perspective on it is going to determine if you're going to be screaming and terrified, or if you're going to learn something and grow. And that is the case every single time. Are you going to learn something here and grow? Or are you going to succumb to a perpetual, never-ending cycle of screaming and freaking out, expecting you to fall to your death? I hope you caught that. I hope you caught something from that message, because this is what we do. We experience what we consider a down, and we go into a downward spiral. Okay? We go into a downward spiral because we hold the perspective that this is wrong, I'm messing up, something bad is happening to me, I am being punished, or there is something else you need to see. And that is why the Spirit is allowing for this to happen. You don't grow without having the fall. And so now that I was on the ground in my visualization, it was easier for me to climb back up to the top of the mountain, because I already learned how to do that. So what you need to know is that the development comes in not in never falling, not in never falling out of practice of your meditation and spiritual practice, not in never falling prey to your physical self and going against what you know you're supposed to do. The growth doesn't come from you not having problems. The growth comes in the recovery. The growth comes in the recovery. So the cliche saying is not how hard you fall, it's how fast you get back up. And your goal is to get up faster and faster each time. So when we have emotional struggles, right? When we are triggered, instead of going the downward spiral of, I was supposed to be over this, I'm not supposed to be, this shouldn't be affecting me like this. You are going, there is no, I don't care how many times you have been hit. Somebody clocking you in your head is gonna hurt. And you don't sit there and say, I can't believe out of all the times I've been punched, this still hurts like this. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna have these issues. You're gonna have an emotion associated to that trigger. But because you've been doing your spiritual practice, because you've been doing your meditation, because you have got you some tools in your toolkit, when you would be triggered and you would isolate and be crying every day for 2 months, now it's for 3 weeks. Y'all gonna have me down for 3 weeks, but it ain't finna be 2 months like it used to be. And as you continue to practice and utilize your tools, that 3 weeks turns into 1 week. Now you are able to recover in 1 week. Now you take a week to yourself, and then you back on it after that week. And through your practice, your 1 week comes to 3 days. Now you don't need 7 days. You need 3 days where you're going through it emotionally. Then it goes down to 1 day with your practice. Then it goes down to 1 hour where things will trigger you and you need an hour to deal with it, to express it, to process, to feel it. You need an hour. And so you get better and better at recovery. You don't become a robot. That's a whole nother level where you just affected by nothing. Okay. If you are a monk in the mountains, then I could understand that. But for most of us, that's not our testimony. All right. So understand that the recovery gets faster and faster. That is the indication of growth, not the initial reaction to the impact. Some things just catch you, but we get better and better at how we deal with how it feels. All right? Are we understanding what I'm saying here? So there's a practice that comes with this. Okay? So no need to throw yourself into a downward spiral thinking that you have not grown. There is no growth. I done did all this work and it's been for naught. That's not the case. Your perspective on it. You're looking at the wrong thing. All right? To the point you'll get to the point to be like, dang, there was a time when I would be raging about this. Is it irritating? Yes. But this is not going to, it doesn't consume my day and my weeks like it used to. That's growth. Okay? So the recovery time gets faster and faster. Allow me to listen. Okay. So another thing here, the spirit showed me this chain, right? And it's a very pretty chain. It actually looks like a diamond encrusted chain, and it had a beautiful gem stone at the end of it. Okay. Then they showed me though the chain breaking and the gemstone being lost. Okay. And I asked to see further on this. The spirit zoomed me in. Okay. And I could see that the gemstone and the band that it was secured to was not actually authentic. All right. Stick with me. I'm clairvoyant. Okay. So they showed me stuff like this. All right. To the point to where if I were to put it on, it's either that it is not authentic, or if I were to put it on, I would have a reaction to that metal to my skin. So like it's fake. What this is letting me know is that the spirit, the ancestors, your Ori, your energies are calling you and myself to allow the breaking and detaching from the things that look good, from the things that appear to be good, from the things that even look good to other people. The things that provide a good look externally. It's a good look for you to be in that relationship. It's a good look for you two to show up together. Ooh, they got a partner. They got this. They got that. They got this. That's a good look. But what purpose does it serve if it only looks good and it isn't good? What purpose does it serve? Take off the chains. Take off the connections to the things that appear as though they are, but you know it is not. This is both in our habits, because let's be clear, we talked about this before. It came up in a weekly reading before where the closet came up. And some of us go out into the world dressed down, makeup down, hairline cut crisp, skin moisturized, face beat, clothes clean, car washed, looking great. But if you were to go and look at the rest of that room, if you were to go to look at the cleanliness of their house, it's not matching. There's a discrepancy here between the way you present and the way you actually exist. So you know how to put it together, but the actual condition is not well. Sever from the plague of appearances. You are sending people into this fun house of mirrors. You are sending yourself into this fun house of mirrors and giving off of these reflections that is not accurate and true to nature. So if you are an individual who always has it pulled together, make sure that you are putting as much effort in your appearance as you are in the actual condition. There's a lot of people out here look great, hair done, cars, money, all that type of stuff, but they ain't seen a doctor. They don't take care of their health. They don't drink no water. They getting ready to fall out at any moment. The Spirit is asking us to sever ourselves from the appearances, because if you are so fixated on how you appear to people, that means that you think that people have a validation to give you that actually matters. You think that external sources validate you. And so you are investing your time in appeasing strangers. Half of the people that you trying to appear a certain way to don't even know you. You are trying to appear a certain way to people that don't even honor you. What is that about? What is that about? You are dressing for the haters, honey. You are putting on a front detached from that. External validation is 10% of your happiness. The rest is internal. The rest is perspectives and your internal environment. That's the rest. That's the other 90%. So if you are basing your life off of the 10%, yikes. 50% of your happiness, those who've taken my courses before or who's in the Patreon, y'all know this if y'all were in the classes. 50% of your happiness, this is psychological study, there's data on this, it's genetics. If your parents were depressed, unhappy, mean people, you are more than likely, you have a 50% chance of being like that. If the environment to which you grew up in had that energy there, 50%, 50%, you have a 50% chance based upon your genetic environment. 40% of your happiness is based on your internal environment. We're going to fix this math. Okay? This means your inner thoughts, your perspectives, how you see yourself, what you deem and what you prioritize as important. 40% of your happiness is that. 10% of your happiness is external, meaning relationships. External, meaning money. External, meaning anything outside of self. All the stuff you think matters, that external validation is 10% of your happiness. But let me bless you here. This 50% is accumulated in the same way they speak about diabetes and high blood pressure and stuff being genetic. It's genetic, are you ready? Because you do the same thing that your people did. It's genetic because you eat the same foods that your people did. And because you eat the same foods and learn the same habits, you have a 50% chance of living the same life, of succumbing to the same illnesses, of succumbing to the same people you choose to be in relationships with, because you are doing what your people did. Now, here we go. Do you have to do what your people did? None of your people got any help. They didn't believe in going to no therapist. All of a sudden, that 40% hops up to 55% of your happiness. Your people continue to entertain people that mistreated them. They continue to overgive and stay with people that didn't treat them well. You don't continue that pattern. Your 55% of your happiness being internal hops to 65, hops to 70. Your people did not care about the condition of they had to eat what they had to eat. All right? They wasn't interested in pork causing cancer and all that type of stuff. They wasn't interested in that. They was going to eat that. Is that your testimony? No. You are conscious and you now have information to where you don't have to repeat that. That 70% done hop to 80 and it goes up. So you initially may not have control of that 50% genetic happiness. But through the work internally, through your spiritual practice, you are able to override that 50% of genetics controlling your happiness. And you can make it 30%. You can make it 20%. You can make it 10%. But what's happening is, with this 10% of happiness coming from external circumstances, you ain't making it 10%, you making it 20. You making it 30, you making it 40, you making it 50, you're making it 60. And that is out of order, and that is untrue. So we must detach ourselves from the plague of appearances, from the need for external validation, because that does not and cannot sustain you. If you are not well within, you will always be sick without. If you are not well within, you will always be ill without. You will always have relationships where it is unequal, where the people are not balanced, where they are not supportive, where they cannot hear you. You will always have that, because that is the internal environment. Once you continue to do your practice and you build up your internal environment, the rest will follow. Ain't that what En Vogue said? Free your mind and the rest will follow. Let's pull some cards from the Ancestor Oracle here. If you haven't ordered your Ancestor Oracle deck, okay, why haven't you? Why haven't you ordered your Ancestor Oracle deck? Why haven't you ordered this? Why haven't you gone to the link in my bio and ordered your Ancestor Oracle deck created by this Black bisexual man right here? Why haven't you done this? Get over there. We're going to pull some cards from the Ancestor Oracle. I've been trying to find the link in the bio and it's not happening. You go to my page. If you go to click my TikTok page. If you go to my page, it has it in the bio. You can click it. But if you can't do that, then you go to TheInnerLightHouse.store. Can someone put that in the comments, please, on the Clock app? TheInnerLightHouse.store. TheInnerLightHouse.store. STORE. Okay. Spirit, what do we have here for the collective? Confirmation from the ancestors. What do we have here? Confirmation. Here we go. All right. So, finishing it up here with these cards. The first cards that we have here that shows up is the back door. This is the back door, okay? The back door shows up here representing sneaky or unexpected, a sneaky or unexpected obstacle. Something to pop up that you were not expecting. All right. It shows up here in reverse. This is literally the mountain that we were talking about earlier. Okay. And it showing up in reverse in this instance is saying it's less about it actually being detrimental to you and more about how you handle the situation. This is literally the mountain that we were talking about earlier, the obstacle. Okay. Following that, we got the magnifying glass, which shows up here. We got the magnifying glass. And the magnifying glass urges you to take a closer look at what's going on. All right? To not take it at surface value, i.e. the plague of appearances, i.e. what we was just talking about. Okay? Always, i.e. perspectives, like we was just talking about. Taking a closer look. Just like we was talking about. Okay? Furthermore, It's confirmations. Furthermore, we got the tree house, which shows up here at the bottom of the deck, which is inner child work. In which case, when I was speaking to you all about the obstacle triggering something from the childhood and from the teenage years and the spirit is coming forth here with the confirmation. So this is the confirmation. And for those of you who are learning readings and divinations, I encourage you to try this. You do not have to. The way I'm doing it is not the correct way, as there is not just one way. But for me, if this resonates with you, give it a try. Channel first and write down what you sense and feel, and then use your cards to confirm it. You don't always have to do that. You can do it however you want to. But this helps you to feel encouraged. So you can start off reading what the card says and going by that. And then I want you to reverse it. And I want you to channel first. And what comes to you, what you hear, what you see, what you sense, the thoughts that drop into you. And then ask the ancestors to confirm what it is you channel. All right? So again, the obstacles here are going to be rooted in the inner child, right? So because this is the case, chakra wise, you want to pay attention to your sacral chakra, your womb center, your sacral center, this space here, right? For those that can't, this space, you want to pay attention to this, leading right up to the pelvis. Okay, your pelvic bowl, your seat of your emotions. All right, this center has to do with the inner child. This center has to do with your emotions and with your creativity. I just posted a video on coloring. And I don't know why the spirit told me to do that, but now I do, because this is going to help us with our inner child work. So make sure y'all go and check out the video on coloring and the benefits of coloring. Okay, I posted that on the Clock app and it's on the YT. All right, so let's continue with the confirmations. All right, the spirit also wants to speak of these. Now, all of these cards came up here in reverse. We got the wedding rings here. The wedding rings here is less about marriage and somebody proposing to you. The wedding rings here showed up in reverse because this is talking about the commitment to yourself. So the ancestors, the spirit team wants you to remain committed to your practices. Because the commitment to your practices and your tools is going to help you overcome the obstacles, i.e. climb the mountain. All right? Like it or not, you must have a discipline. Go ahead and give up the ego thinking people trying to control you. You must have a discipline. You must have some level of consistency. And you're trying to use the fact that you don't like to be controlled as a way for you to be undisciplined. You want to claim every illness, every distraction, everything in the world, instead of understanding that I don't want to be disciplined. I have an issue with discipline. And that's okay. But everybody and their mama don't have ADHD. Everybody and their mama don't have ADD. And if you've been diagnosed with that, I understand that. And they have tools available for you in order for you to manage that. But that's not everybody's testimony. A lot of us are very disciplined when it comes to watching The Real Housewives. A lot of us are very disciplined when it comes to watching Zeus Network. You're very disciplined on your shows on Netflix. All of this, the things that you claim since we claim that we have all of these issues, none of that kicks in when you watching your TV shows. every day faithfully at 7 o'clock weekly. You cut your phone on Do Not Disturb. Everybody knows. Don't bother you on this day, on Thursday nights at 7. Don't bother you on Monday nights at 6 or at 8 p.m. We know how to do that. We do that continuously without a problem. So what are we talking about? You don't have an issue with routine. You don't have an issue with discipline. You have an issue. You have an issue with discipline because honestly, you need to mature yourself in that way. It's your view of importance on those things. You think the Real Housewives is more important than your meditation. Okay. So then I don't know how you expect to grow spiritually. And I'm just being real. I ain't harping on you. I'm just saying. I have a relative who is a severe diabetic. And this relative asked to borrow money from me to pay for their cable. And in the same conversation said that they are running out of insulin, but they can hold off. Let me understand this. You want me to give you money to pay your cable and internet, but not give you money for your insulin? There's an issue here. You want to spend your money on snacks and subscriptions, but you don't want to spend your money on a class that can benefit you. You want to spend your money to making sure that your nails is popping. Twice dip, honey, gel. You make sure to go to the salon every weekend. You make sure to go and get your hair done. You make sure to store up the money to drop that $600, $700 there. Though when it comes to spending money to get your altar set up, we have an issue here. You know how to spend money on your snacks, but you can't spend no money on your spiritual tools. You know how to spend money for leisure, but you can't spend money on elevation. Y'all planning the trip when you know that you need to be completing your certification. There's an issue of priorities here. And this is human. However, you are a spirit having a human experience. So you must do your work to get that together. Okay? That's right, Jonas. That's right. Okay? And when you start to look at it, I ain't trying to come for y'all and bust y'all upside the head. But when you say it, you sit up there and be like, damn, I really just spent all this money on this alcohol and on this night out and on this outfit to go to the club. But I swear I don't have money for not one therapist appointment. And you be like, I definitely spent this money to go out to the movies and dinner. Tickets, two of us, that's for this $20. Okay. But then that dinner was about $50 each. So now we at $70. Right? Ooh, we took a Uber. Okay, so then let's add the $12, $13 on top of that. That's going to $10 coming back. Okay, 70. Hey, now we're about $100. Okay, good. Ooh, but then I went and picked that up. So I really done dropped about $120, $130. But that therapist appointment is $100. But that coaching session is $85. So when you start to look at the things like this, we say to ourselves, we are holding on to fake chains. We are keeping up appearances. We are doing things that's not actually helping us. Let's just be real. Y'all not the only ones. I did the same thing too. Y'all not the only ones. All right. We do it, but it is our job to correct it. Okay. It's our job to say, you know what? I was on some bullshit. Just be straight up honest with you. I be on some bullshit. I mean, just be real. But this is the thing. Here we go. Once you know, you must do. Once you know, you must do. We done dropped $200, $300 on a new set. We done dropped that $600 on that unit. Okay. We done spent that $200 going out with the outfit, the shoes, the hair, makeup, the perfume. Okay. We got about $90 or $100 worth of subscriptions that we pay monthly to these entertainment shows, which has its purpose. But there is an issue when you are spending your resources to get the things that you want and not the things that you need. We got to balance it. Own it. Right, Deja? We got to own it. I be on some bullshit. I own that. Okay, so now that we own it, the beauty of owning something is that now you have the power to do something about it. Right? I got several subscriptions that is outrageous that I need to end today. And I'm going to encourage y'all to do that. Don't just be having stuff just in case. Cut that off. You could be investing that money into somebody's Patreon. You could be investing that money into the wellness community. You can be investing that money into the lighthouse, where you are in an environment, in a space where you can grow. You can be investing that money on a course on Udemy. You could be investing that money on a program. Because one thing here, Kendra says something powerful. The things that keep you comfortable, complacent, and distracted. Absolutely. Absolutely. Deja says, I buy books when I can use my local library for free. That part. We want the things that give us comfort instead of dealing with why are we, wait a minute, this comforts us. What are we uncomfortable with and why are we trying to avoid that? Because you're going to keep doing it. All right. And so commitments matter. Check in with that. If you missed it, go. If you're watching on the Clock app, you want to watch the whole thing again, go to my YT and you can watch the full thing on YT. I'm spending on my products for my business and classes to further my goals. That's it. Because they'd be like, oh my gosh, money. You be doing all types of money. Now look at this. Y'all is terrorizing the cinnamon sticks, the bay leaves, doing all the money workings to bring in abundance. But in your practice, you are a poor stewardess of your funds. Your lifestyle is working against your work. You are a poor stewardess of your funds. So you sit up here doing all of this money work, hoping that all of this stuff come through. but you have bad practices. You have bad financial practices. You only did the working once. You do the bad financial practices daily. Which is going to win? All right? So it's important for us to re-examine that. Okay? Yes, we be terrorizing the cinnamon sticks, terrorizing the bay leaves, terrorizing, have it in a chokehold. Bring in my wealth and abundance, bitch. We do that. Y'all be terrorizing it, tearing it up. But as soon as impulse buy comes up, as soon as a sale at Bath and Body Works come up, ooh, child. Well, let me just make my way down there to the. I don't got no money. Scrolls on Facebook, on IG, on TikTok, and see somebody making some food. Let me just. I think I got a few dollars. I think I got that gift card. Yeah, I'm gonna use the gift card. It's like, now wait a minute. You just didn't have no money and now you got 55. You just had to capitalize on the Bath and Body Works candle. Had to. You said, oh, how many? I mean, we being real about it. Let's just be real. And so that's why I don't want you to go forth here. And that part, hold up. Don't let them take Afterpay. Oh, you are run up a check, gonna collect. Gang. You are running up a check. You got Afterpay. You got Afterpay, but don't even know if you gonna have the money to pay after. And then here we go. This is gonna be the thing. Here we go. And then when your spiritual teachers and coaches have things and offerings that can actually help you, and you go to their website and you could pay in full because I got to Afterpay on my website. You try to apply, you done effed up your Afterpay. You can't even use it. You can't even use it. I mean, let's just be real. I'm using those herbs now to help somebody else who's already helped me by introducing himself and his abilities. Now it's time to truly use them. Right, do a goddess. You can't even use it. I mean, let's just be real. All of my products, everything on my website, you can use Afterpay. You like, let me enter this Afterpay. Ooh, I sure ain't paid that. Oh, good God Almighty. Let's be real about it, okay? I also want to come with this last message here. This is the garden, and then we're going to go. This the garden. Hold up. Come on, focus. This the garden. Growth and seeds. Growth and seeds. This is right on point with what we was just talking about. Seeds are investments. Seeds are subscriptions. Seeds are follows. Who, not just where you put in your money, who are you investing your energy and your time? Who are these pages that you follow? Because a subscription isn't, when you hit subscribe, that's an investment. That's an energy exchange. That's a yes. I say yes to this energy. Who are you following on social media? And ain't nothing wrong with following people that you be cracking up laughing at. But what is it that you are investing your energy into? Because what you invest your energy into is going to grow. And if you're okay with that growing, then all right, good job. But understand that we are in a season concerning that. We are in a season understanding that in the year of 7, anything that we don't want to keep looping around when we get into next year, the year of 8, when you turn the 8 to the sideways, that's the infinity symbol. We need to get some seeds planted, some investment made. As the Spirit said earlier, breaking the chain, letting the chain fall. We're going to need to do that. We're going to need to do that. So we don't have this stuff, these practices, these people circulating and carrying on into the next year until we circle back to the year of 8 again. So ask yourself, am I planting appropriate seeds in my life? Am I investing my time appropriately? Am I investing my energy appropriately? Kendra said, listen, ordering out because you don't feel like cooking the healthy food you bought just to eat something unhealthy. Kendra, let's go. Let's go, Kendra. Dual Goddess says, I'm about to go toss some seeds around my yard as an offering of fertility and abundant growth to Mother Nature. Dual Goddess, that's excellent, especially because we have the Taurus energy going on. We got all of this Earth energy going on. This is an excellent time for you to do some work. Elandra said, and then my stomach be in shambles afterwards. Absolutely, because that's what we do. And this is not the time for you to beat yourself up. This is not the time for you to be like, oh my God, I'm horrible. It don't have nothing to do with that. This is the time for you to say, okay, I have been put on notice. I have been alert. I've been alerted, on this matter. I have it now. I realize that this thing that I've been trying to duck past, the Spirit has called me out. And so this must mean that they are wanting me to correct this at this time to prevent some other things from going on later. Okay? Preventative is ahead of time. You are being told ahead of time before it collapses, before now you got to really, really use your spiritual practices to recover. You're being told ahead of time. Okay? So are you going to take advantage of your preparation? I hope you are, because I am. Oh, yes, honey. Let me tell you something. I got a few emails to send out today. Once I send those emails out, I know, I have all types of stuff I got to do. I got to do my laundry. I got to get my room straight. I got to get my office space straight, my workspace. I got to get all this together. Yes, I am. I already done tended to the ancestors. If you're in the Patreon, I posted about my ancestor altar, actually a photo of my ancestor altar in the Patreon, and I posted with my ancestors' permission, and I posted some upkeeping and some maintenance to do for your ancestor altar today. So if you're in the Patreon, go forth and look and check that out. Okay. Ultimately, y'all have heard the message from the Spirit. Y'all have gotten the information. Y'all have gotten the things. Now, the question is what is you going to do with the information that you have received? Right? To know and not do. Yikes. Once you know better, you do better. All right? And if you know it and you don't do it, you must really not know. So I need you to look at it again. All right? I love each and every one of you from a light-filled place. If you would like to book a session with me, you know where to go to book a session, to book a reading, to book a spiritual coaching session. If you want a root work consultation, you can book that as well. If you want to get some oils or some things, you can do that. I'm getting ready to put up a couple of new services. I'm going to be offering a service specifically for religious deconstruction. All right, a session specifically for that. So we're going to have that available. I love y'all. I want y'all to go forth and conquer. I want you to return to yourselves a harvest, to your community a harvest. I want you to be well. I want you to do well. I don't care what anybody says to you. You know your moral compass. You know that you are called to higher. You know that you are needing to have the up perspective, the mountaintop perspective, and you need to seek that. I love y'all. Peace, everybody. Peace.